We've all been there, right? You're driving along, and then you hear a sound that just makes your stomach drop. Yep, a cracked windshield. In this explainer, we're going to cut through all the noise and give you a super clear guide on what to do, what it's going to cost, and how to make sure you get it fixed the right way. So let's get into it.
Just think about it for a second. It's not a loud siren. It's not some angry driver laying on the horn. Nope, it's something way smaller, but somehow it feels so much more personal. It's that one little sound that can take a perfectly good day and just ruin it.
That's the one. That sharp, sudden smack of a rock hitting your windshield. And your brain just goes into overdrive, right? How much is this going to set me back? How long am I going to be without my car? And maybe the most important question of all, is this thing even safe to drive anymore? Okay, so your first move really comes down to one big question. Can you get away with a simple repair, or are we talking about a full-on replacement? And believe it or not, the answer depends on just a few key things. The rules of thumb here are actually pretty simple. Generally speaking, if the damage is small, a little chip or a crack that's shorter than 6 inches, and it's not right in your line of sight, you're probably in luck. A quick resin repair should do the trick. But if that crack is bigger, if it's blocking your view, or if it's starting to spread like a spider web, then a full replacement is really your only safe bet.
So, you've figured out if you need a repair or a replacement. The next huge question is, of course, the cost. And the final bill isn't just one flat number. It's actually built from a few different parts. Let's start with the best case scenario, shall we? A simple chip repair. This is absolutely your most affordable option. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 to $150. A technician just injects the specialized resin, it fixes the chip, stops it from spreading, and you're usually out of there in under an hour. Easy peasy. But if you do need that full replacement, well, the price definitely takes a jump. For a pretty standard car, like a typical sedan without a ton of bells and whistles, you're now looking at a range of about $200 to $400. And this is where things can get seriously expensive. If you're driving a luxury car or a newer vehicle that has things like rain sensors or a heads-up display built right into the glass, the cost for that specialized windshield can easily shoot past $1,000. Which brings us to the single biggest variable in auto glass replacement today. And it's something that honestly just wasn't even a thing a few years back. All the technology that's now packed directly into your windshield. What we're talking about is ADAS, which stands for Advanced Driver Assistance Systems. These are all those incredible safety features, like when your car beeps if you drift out of your lane, or when it brakes for you automatically. And where are all the cameras and sensors for these systems? You guessed it. They are mounted right there on your windshield. So, and this is really the crucial point. After you get a new windshield on a car with ADAS, those systems have to be professionally recalibrated so they work correctly. This is not an optional upsell, it is a non-negotiable safety step. And that recalibration process alone can add a pretty big chunk to the final bill. This also means you have another choice to make. What kind of glass to use? Aftermarket glass is definitely the cheaper route, but OEM, that's original equipment manufacturer glass, is made by the very same company they made your car's original windshield. For any car with ADAS, pretty much every expert recommends sticking with OEM glass to guarantee a perfect fit, so all those super sensitive cameras and sensors work exactly as they were designed to. Now, with all this talk about cost, I know it can be tempting to just put it off. I'll deal with it later. But delaying can turn a small, cheap problem into a really big, really expensive, and frankly, dangerous one. So here's a fact that might actually surprise you. Your windshield isn't just a window to look through. It provides up to 30% of your car's total structural strength in a rollover accident. A tiny crack compromises that integrity, making your car significantly less safe. And the costs of waiting just keep piling up. Financially, it's a no-brainer. A cheap chip repair today prevents a way more expensive replacement tomorrow. From a safety side, that crack can spread really fast with temperature changes or even just road vibrations. Legally, yeah, you can actually get a ticket for an obstructed view. And here's the real kicker. A lot of insurance policies will cover a simple chip repair with a zero deductible. That means it could cost you literally nothing to get it fixed right away. Okay, so you know what needs to be done. You've got a handle on the costs, and you can't wait. The final piece of the puzzle is finding the right person, the right professional to actually do the job. So here is your checklist for finding a great shop. First off, check for certifications, especially for that ADAS calibration we talked about. Second, always ask about the warranty on their work. Third, do your homework. Read some recent customer reviews online. And finally, confirm they use quality materials, like that OEM glass, especially if you have a newer car. And that really brings us to the bottom line. This quote kind of says it all. The quality of materials used varies significantly between providers. Don't let a shop cut costs on your safety. Look, price is obviously a factor, but it should never be the only factor when we're talking about something that keeps you safe on the road. So, we'll leave you with this one thought. That little chip or crack that you've been trying to ignore, it might be a bigger deal than you think. Now that you know exactly what's at stake, maybe take another look at your windshield. Is your view of the road really as safe as it should be?